So now that we are done with changing the schematic, we need to start creating the footprints, and for doing that we would use the OrCAD PCB Editor Lite, and the corresponding full-fledged version that you would have on the machines in the lab would be the Allegro PCB Editor, and that is the one that you should use. So when I open this up, I will get something like this, and initially if you do not have any other designs in your project, then you would be given an empty place to create your footprints or the board design. Now in here, what we would be first doing is a couple of different things to set up the environment according to our wish. So let me start creating a particular footprint and then set up the environment for that particular thing. So I'll do a file new, and then I can select the project folder in which I want to keep this. So I have already created a folder for myself called CEEN 4330 footprints, and that's where I am saving stuff. So I can do that, and then I will give the drawing a name. Say for example I want to do the 8284, so CEEN 4330 8284A. So let's say that, and then you would be given choices as to what sort of drawing this is, whether it's a board through a wizard, then module, package symbol, and so on and so forth. Now this is not a board, this is the individual component footprint, so basically it is a package symbol. So with that package symbol selected, when you click OK, you would be given a blank space to draw stuff on. Now this particular window on the right hand side is a context specific menu which you may be seeing or may not be seeing. Notice this little pin over here. If I click it, it disappears, so you would probably be seeing this view right now. Now this context menu is very important, so it's better to keep it displayed always. So go to this options page, and then what you can do is you can hit the pin here, and then it will get fixed there for good. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing that you should be doing is you should be going to set up and user preferences, and in there go to paths, expand that, and go to library, and then you will see three spaces. One is the module path, another is the pad path, and then the PSM path. Now in these three places, it would be better if you put in the folders in which you are storing your footprints. That is, if you are not doing the default one, that is. So in my module path, I will place that particular folder which I am using and do an OK. And then the pad path, I have already done that in the same method, and PSM path, the same thing has already been done. So once you're done with that, click on apply and then OK. Next, what you need to do is you need to set the environment up so that you can draw stuff easily and make your life a whole lot easier. So for that, what you do is you go to setup and then into design parameters and open this up. The first thing you should go to is the design tab. Now in there, your units by default will be mils, but in our case we will change it to millimeter, and when you do that, whatever error messages come or messages that pop up, just do a yes or an OK. Now we choose millimeter because nowadays most of the manufacturers are converting themselves to use international units, and that is millimeters, so following the millimeters would be a good choice. Then extents here determines how long your design space is. So a good rule of thumb would be for component designs to have the width and the height to 200 centimeters each, which is 200 millimeters each, which is a pretty big space, and then split it in half so that the center point is at the middle of the view that you get. So for that, half of what your width is should go with a negative sign for left X, and then half of what you have set for height should go into lower Y with the negative 100. On this end, you have nothing else to change. Just confirm that the lock direction for the line is 45 degrees. If it is not 45 degrees, change it to 45 degrees because that's what we will follow. Then go to the display tab. In the display tab, the important thing to note is this grids should be on. So click on this grids and then hit setup grids, and there you would see that every spacing is currently some multiple of the 0.254 millimeter, but then you change it to 0.01, which is the resolution that best helps you when you are using millimeter units to create your components. So that's it. Okay, and then hit apply and okay. Now you are at a position to start creating your footprints, and we will get in the business of that in the next video.